Welcome. I'm Reverend Valerie Love, and we're reading the Bible, the entire Bible, and the Apocrypha, and the Pseudepigrapha. Wow. Yes, we're reading the lost and forbidden books of the Bible as well. Welcome, 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 welcome. If you are here every day, woo, I celebrate you. I celebrate you. Let's get some celebration going. I celebrate you because let me tell you, it is not easy, okay? It is not easy to be here every single morning, either live or on the replay, to commit to every single day. And so I'm just going to send you some love. I'm going to send you some love, baby, because that's a beautiful thing. I came up with a solution for the tiny print on the pseudepigrapha website. We are reading today Life of Adam and Eve. Oh, let's do a quick recap of yesterday. So we did see aliens in the text yesterday. We also saw that Eve was the culprit. She kept getting blamed for everything. The writer of this story wants Eve to be the bad person. They want to blame Eve for everything. And Adam, she at first she says, "Kill me," and Adam's like, "I can't kill you. You came for me." And then she says, "I'm leaving because just me being around you is a problem. I'm the worst bad luck charm ever." And so it's super dramatic. It's super dramatic. And so she leaves, and then as she's walking toward the west, she realizes she's pregnant. How is it that she leaves? He doesn't follow her. I don't know. She gets over to the west, and now, after months pass, it's time for her to have the baby. She screams and yells, and she's in so much pain having this baby. And then, of course, Adam has to be alerted by the angels to come over and do something. And she has the baby, and the baby pops out, and the baby runs right away. Miraculous baby. The baby runs right away, and the baby goes and plucks a blade of green grass, and gives it to his mother. And then all sorts of things occur. A king kills Abel. Then they get Seth. Seth is like a replacement son for Abel. In a lot of traditions, Seth is Abel's replacement. Then you get Adam dying, a big hullabaloo in heaven. The devil is persecuting them. And why is the devil persecuting them and following them everywhere? Persecuting them and following them because he said, "I was in such glory, and you're the reason why I'm not in the glory anymore. And so you have to pay." And the people are like, Adam and Eve are like, "Oh, devil, will you ever leave us alone? It's not enough that you tricked Eve and you got us out of the garden." And the devil is like, "I don't care." And then Adam says, "Well, why are you so mean to us?" And then the devil tells his story. It's the part of the story where the villain explains why he's the villain. That part of the story? The part of the story where the devil explains, "What are you so nefarious, devil? Because when we were all in heaven and I was in my glory and there were angels under me and we were basking in glory and delight. And then Michael came around and said, 'Hey, there's a new kid on the block. God just made a new kid. His name is Adam. And you need to bow down and worship him.'" And I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. I was here before him. I'm not worshiping him. He ought to worship me." And Michael is like, listen, you better worship him, else God is going to." And I'm not doing it. Okay. I already told you I'm not worshiping something younger and inferior than me. He ought to recognize this place and worship me. And Michael is like, "For the last time, you better bow down and worship God and worship his new creation called the Adam." Sumerian texts call it the Adamu. And so he's like, "I'm not doing it. And furthermore, if you try to make me do it, because Michael is coming with the force, right? God's gonna make you do it. Oh, you're trying to make me do it? I'm going to set up a throne in heaven even higher than God's. So there. How about that? And I like that. I like the whole yes, Angel. The devil's origin story. We need that. We need that. We want to understand how did he become the villain? Because Christians have a villain and they have a hero. The hero is Jesus. Jesus is Lord. It's Jesus. And the villain is the devil. And when he walks on stage, dun 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 dun, doom music plays when the devil comes. Okay, so that's what happened in the first books of Adam and Eve, the first story that we were reading. That is the laws forbidden books of the Bible that they didn't allow in. They didn't want you reading about the devil's origin story. It's just enough that we hate him. That's all. We hate him. And so finally, they toss him out of heaven and whatnot. Let me get a tissue. They talk, this stuff is so dramatic. Oh my God. Look, reading this is, I'm telling you, it's right up there with Shakespeare and Macbeth and or one of those, or Othello or one of those. It's right up there. It's right up there with the Iliad and the Odyssey, all the Epic of Gilgamesh and all these incredible stories, right? Okay. So eventually Adam dies, after 930 years, and he had 30 sons and 30 daughters beside the first three. The first very famous three, Cain, Abel, and Seth. And then he had 30 sons and 30 daughters. He had exactly 30 sons and exactly 30 daughters. I don't know how you do that. That's the story. I'm just here to report the story, okay? And then he dies, and when Adam dies, he's in pain, and he's like, oh, pain. And Seth is like, pain, what is pain? What is that? Because of course they've never experienced any of this. I don't know, but please go back to the garden and beg to get some of that balm, the oil from the garden, so you can rub it on me and I won't be in so much pain. And so Eve and Seth take off to go back to the garden to get this delicious balm that's going to take care of Adam so he won't be in so much pain. And on the way, a serpent bites Seth in the heel. Ah! And the serpent was talking. And Eve curses the serpent. Seth curses the serpent. And then eventually the serpent leaves. You got to get the serpent in the story again. And they finally get over there and they get some balm and they bring it back. The angel lets them have some balm. They bring it back. But the angel tells them, listen, Adam's going to be dead in 6 days. So just prep yourself. And they're like, oh my goodness. So they get back, they rub him down. And then sure enough, 6 days later, he dies. Oh my goodness, it's such a hullabaloo. All the angels in heaven are coming. They're coming. A couple of angels came for Eve when she was giving birth. I think it was Michael on one side and Raphael was on the other side while she was giving birth. But then now the angels, a whole bunch of angels come because Adam's dying. The creation of God is dying. And so he's dead, and then the angels teach them how to embalm, well, not how to embalm people, teach them how to wrap their dead and bury their dead. And then it says something weird. It says that Adam and Abel were buried, and that's weird. You mean Abel, the one that was killed way back when, y'all still hadn't buried him? What was he just lying around with the birds plucking out his eyes? What was happening to poor Abel? Y'all never buried the man. Okay, but anyway, but there's another story that says that every time they tried to bury Abel, he wouldn't stay buried. There's another story that Cain is saying he was just around. He's just dead. He's over there. Abel, they didn't know to bury him. They didn't know what to do. He's just like, okay. How did they even know what kill was? Because apparently they don't know what death is. So how do they know what some things is, but they don't know what the other things are that are the same things? How did they know that Cain killed Abel? How did they understand the concept that Cain could kill Abel? So we need to separate them because Eve had a dream. How were they understanding that someone could kill someone else and they would be dead, but they didn't understand the concept of pain and death? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, it's all good because now we're going to the next book and I have a solution for us. Lilith, where is she at? Oh, baby. Lilith is coming. Don't worry. Lilith is coming. Exit stage left. Now the death of Adam. Adam has died and it's over. And after such a hard birth with the first child, we're supposed to believe. He birthed 59 more children without dying. Since they didn't mention Adam having many other wives or concubines. Dear baby, actually, Eve gave birth to 63 children altogether because the 30 sons and the 30 daughters were in addition, according to how the story is. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Were in addition to the fabled Cain, Abel, and Seth debacle. So those three, so I think altogether is 63 kids. And yeah, Eve gave birth to all 63 children. Now, how did she do that? If you ask a Christian, they'll say, because people were closer to perfection back then and people could have more children, just three or four. Okay, 63, 10. Okay, I'll give you 20. These women, Rachel gave birth to two and died. How many of these women gave birth in the ancient world and died in childbirth? People still die in childbirth. It's very dangerous. Having children is a very dangerous ordeal. You're right on the cusp of life and death. Every woman knows this, that when you are pushing that baby out, you yourself are in the liminal. You are between life and death, and you could slip one way or the other. Women still die in childbirth. Yeah, dear, it's an excellent question. These are excellent questions. How do we, and they're not reconciled in the text. Yes, they have selective knowledge. They know about certain things, but they don't know about other things. That's weird. It's the selective knowledge to fit the story. So that's how you know that this is a wonderful story. Now, I came up with a solution on this tiny print on the pseudepigrapha. So, what I'm going to do with today's reading, happy Sunday, how you loving, how you loving, how you loving, come on in, come on in. I just love that y'all are here Sunday morning as we do this. And if you're watching the replay, whenever you are watching the replay, it's delicious. Whenever you are watching it, because we are in the pseudepigrapha. We are in the forbidden books, the lost books of the Bible, as you can see. And we have just conquered the first one. Celebrate yourself. We have completed the entire reading of the first book of the Bible, Genesis. We have completed the entire reading of the Latin version of the books of Adam and Eve. Now we are going to Life of Adam and Eve, and I'm going to see if this works. Let me see if I can copy paste this into a Google Doc and make it bigger. Let's see if it will work for me. Paste without formatting, and then I'm just going to select all. And I am going to make it bigger. Oh, it worked. Great. Great. That's what we're going to use because that print on the website, super tiny. I am reading from the Apocrypha and Pseudepigrapha of the Old Testament, R.H. Charles, printed by Oxford, published by the Clarendon Press, 1913 in Oxford, England, and this is in the public domain. It is not copyrighted like many versions, most versions of the Bible are copywritten. This is out of copyright, and therefore it is safe for us to read and speak about and share. It is public domain. Let's go. Life of Adam and Eve. Are we on screen share? Yes, we are on screen share. And we sat together before the gate of paradise. Adam, weeping with his face bent down to the earth, lay on the ground lamenting. And 7 days passed by, and we had nothing to eat, and were consumed with great hunger. And I, Eve, cried with a loud voice, Pity me, O Lord, my creator, for my sake Adam suffereth thus. And I said to Adam, Rise up, my Lord, that we may seek us food. For now my spirit faileth me, and my heart within me is brought low. Then Adam spake to me, I have thoughts of killing thee, but I fear, since God created thine image, and thou showest penitence and criest to God, hence my heart hath not departed from thee. And Adam arose, and we roamed through all lands and found nothing to eat save nettles and grass of the field. And we returned again to the gates of paradise and cried aloud and entreated, Have compassion on thy creature, Lord, allow us, O Lord Creator, allow us food. And for 15 days continuously we entreated. Then we heard Michael, the archangel, and Joel praying for us. And Joel, the archangel, was commanded by the Lord. And he took a seventh part of paradise and gave it to us. Then the Lord said, Thorns and thistles shall spring up from under thy hands, and from thy sweat shalt thou eat bread, and thy wife shall tremble when she looketh upon thee. The archangel Joel said to Adam, Thus saith the Lord, I did not create thy wife to command thee, but to obey. Why art thou obedient to thy wife? Again, Joel the archangel bade Adam separate the cattle and all kinds of flying and creeping things and animals, both wild and tame, and to give names to all things. Then indeed he took the oxen and began to plow. Then the devil approached and stood before the oxen and hindered Adam in tilling the field, and said to Adam, Mine are the things of earth, the things of heaven are God's. But if thou wilt be mine, thou shalt labor on the earth. But if thou wilt be God's, pray, go away to paradise. Adam said, The things of heaven are the Lord's, and the things of earth and paradise and the whole universe. The devil said, I do not suffer thee to till the field, except thou write the bond that thou art mine. Adam replied, Whosoever is Lord of the earth, to the same do I belong and my children. Then the devil was overcome with joy. But Adam was not ignorant that the Lord would descend on earth and tread the devil underfoot. The devil said, Write me thy bond. And Adam wrote, Who is Lord of the earth, to the same do I belong and my children. Eve said to Adam, Rise up, my Lord. Let us pray to God in this cause, that he set us free from that devil, for thou art in this straight on my account. But Adam said, Eve, since thou repentest of thy misdeed, my heart will hearken to thee. For the Lord created thee out of my ribs. Let us fast 40 days. Perchance the Lord will have pity on us and will leave us understanding and life. I, for my part, said, Do thou, my Lord, fast 40 days, but I will fast 44. Then Adam said to me, Haste thee to the river, named Tigris, and take a great stone and place it under thy feet, and enter into the stream, and clothe thyself with water as with a cloak up to the neck, and pray to God in thy heart, and let no word proceed out of thy mouth. And I said, O my Lord, with my whole heart will I call upon God. And Adam said to me, Take great care of thyself, except thou seest me and all my tokens. Depart not out of the water, nor trust in the words which are said to thee, lest thou fall again into the snare. And Adam came to Jordan, And he entered into the water, and he plunged himself altogether into the flood, even to the hairs of his head, while he made supplication to God and sent up prayers to him. And there the angels came together, and all living creatures, wild and tame, and all birds that fly, and they surrounded Adam like a wall, praying to God for Adam. The devil came to me, wearing the form and brightness of an angel, and shedding big teardrops, and said to me, "Come out of the water, Eve. God hath heard thy prayers and heard us angels. God hath fulfilled the prayers of those who intercede on thy behalf. God hath sent me to thee that thou mayest cometh out of the water." But I, Eve, perceived that he was the devil and answered him nothing. But Adam, when he returned from Jordan, saw the devil's footprints and feared lest perchance he had deceived me. But when he had remarked me standing in the water, he was overcome with joy, and he took me and led me out of the water. Then Adam cried out with a loud voice, "Be silent, Eve, for already is my spirit straightened in my body. Arise, go forth, utter prayers to God, till I deliver up my spirit to God." Passage follows exactly parallel to Apocalypse Moses, but in abbreviated form. And there you have the translation, the Slavonic translation, the English translation of the Slavonic story of Life of Adam and Eve, the Slavonic version. Tomorrow, we will read Life and Adam and Eve from the Greek version, also known as the Apocalypse of Moses. So if you came here for the reading of the lost books of the Bible, there you have it. Thank you for whoever said something about my shirt. I have my Three Witches Under the Full Moon shirt on today. A gift from one of our beautiful community members. Here's the deal. People love to say that the Bible degrades women. That is not true. The Bible is simply a collection of literature. So to say the Bible anything would be inaccurate, because the Bible is made up of books written across millennia by different people in different locations. So when we say the Bible, we act as if it is one book, when indeed it is dozens of books cobbled together. There is no such thing as a Bible. And it is important for us to understand that the people who wrote these writings were revealing their consciousness. And I love what the Apocalypse of Moses says, one of the lost books of the Bible that we just read, aka Life of Adam and Eve, the Slavonic version. I love that it reveals that the man who wrote this is trying to get women to heal. Do you notice this? Here's how you know that they are trying to get women to be controlled. Because we all know women are uncontrollable. Women are a force of nature that cannot be controlled. But they're trying. And here's what it says: when the angel Joel is speaking to Adam, so that they can take this and shove it in women's faces and hope that it will make women heal. The archangel, the archangel Joel said to Adam, "Thus saith the Lord." So one of the angels is speaking to Adam, bringing the word of God. "I did not create thy wife to command thee." See how they're trying to get the women on to heal, but to obey. Why art thou obedient to thy wife? Do you see that? It's very clear what the aim. Now, this text has many aims many aims. You can see one of the aims is to try to put women in their place. It didn't work. Whoever wrote this, I guess you're turning over in your grave right now. It didn't work because you're all the husbands of the world can tell you it didn't work. Not that wives don't respect their husbands. Of course. When I had husbands, I had two husbands. When I had my husbands, oh, I love them. I love them to this day. My two husbands will tell you that they were never able to get me to do everything that they said. Both my husbands will tell you that they were never able to get me to do everything that they wanted me to do because that's just not who I am. I'm not disrespectful. I respect everyone because I respect myself. I just don't listen to someone else telling me what to do. Yeah, I don't do that. So you know how church tries so hard. Do you notice the exertion church gives to try to get women to heal? It's a big deal in church because church knows that women are an uncontrollable force of nature. They know this. So for thousands of years, they've been trying to get women to heal, and it still hasn't worked yet. It still hasn't worked yet because that's not the nature of a woman. It's not the nature. Is the nature of a hurricane to be calm? Is the nature of a desert to be wet? Is the nature of a river to be dry? Come on, now you're going against the nature of a woman to try to act like you can get a woman to do whatever you want a woman to do. That's not how we operate. That's not in our nature. We'll do it if we want to do it. That's the truth. Now your wives might be telling you, "Oh yeah, honey, just not to have an argument." What? Yeah. That's right. You are so right, sweetie boo. Yes, yes. And then she goes off and does what the fuck she wants to do. Now, every couple that's been together for many, many, many years, they know this, and they also know that many times, not every time, many times women see things before the men and they warn their man. They're like, hey, look. And that is one thing men love about women. When he meets that woman who has his back, that's like, watch out for them because And he's like, well, they look like normal people to me. They ain't normal. He trying to get your money. He trying to do this. He trying to do that. She already saw it and he was like, okay, I'm gonna watch that. And men know that there's a woman in their ear. And if there's a woman in their ear that really loves them, she is gonna be like a hawk. Oh, she's like a hawk. You can't even turn it off. That's the best thing you can have in your life is a woman that has your back. Baby, she will is ride or die. It is ride or die. It's just the issue is that you've got to be the man that deserves a woman such as that. Mm. Did anyone else's screen go black? That's strange. I thought Eve was created as a helper for Adam. Right. Not that she was supposed to obey him, unless the obey part came as a result of the fall. That's an excellent question because in the original Hebrew, it says, I will make Eve not as a helpmate or a helper. That's how it's translated in our Bibles. It says, I will make her as a complement. Complement, Comple, not Compli. Complementa, compliment means someone that completes you, meaning you ain't done yet. You're not complete because you don't have the rest of yourself. You're not a complete whole being. And in some Kabbalistic traditions, they teach that Adam and Eve was actually a hermaphrodite. It was actually a being with one part Adam and one part Eve, that it was together in one being. And that's what completed you. Yin and yang completes you. Light and dark completes you. Yang ain't complete without yin, and yin is not complete without yang. Night is not complete without day, and day is not complete without night. The original says, I will make Eve as a complement, something that completes the man, because God looked and saw that the man was alone and that it was not good for the man to be alone. He didn't say, I'm going to create something that's going to make that you have to be its boss. Come on now. Right. Eve was supposed to complete Adam. That was the deal in that story. But remember, this story is written about 400, 500 to 1,000 years later. And you can see how the doctrine and dogma has morphed in these writings and has shifted away from the original writings. So you almost have like two different stories. You almost have two different stories, right? Well, it's Sunday, and they say it's the Lord's Day. But actually, if you read the Sumerian tablets, there was a day that Inky and them were tired, and they just said we're not going to work today. And literally, it was the seventh day, and they said we're not going to work today because we're tired. We're going to go to sleep. And literally, took that to be a Sabbath, and that from now on, there's a day that's holy to the God. No, it was a day that the Anunnaki were tired. That's what Sabbath. That's the origin of the Sabbath. What's the origin of the number 40? The origin of the number 40 is that is Inky's number. They all had a number. Inky's number was 40. Enlil's number was 50. 50 was the number. They all had numbers. They had a number equivalent. Every Anunnaki had a number. Enlil was 50. Enki was 40. Enki was closely connected with the people. So his number of being 40 was a number that bled into the consciousness of humanity. So whenever you see the number 40, you ought to think Enki, because the Bible mentions 40 over and over and over and over. It mentions 12 over and over and over and over. There's certain numbers that are mentioned over and over and over. Why? Did they just pick these numbers out of the sky? No, they have significance. All right. That is it for today. And we will see you tomorrow for the next lost, forbidden book of the Bible. Peace.